morning. I am Beth Hildenbrand, and this is Booked Up with Beth. And today we have the fabulous Hoku Sorci with us, and she is fabulous, beyond words fabulous. I love her to pieces. And I read her new book, and wow, everybody's going to love this book. And so now, though, I'm going to introduce Hoku, and please tell us a little bit about yourself, honey.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be back. I'm originally from Hawaii. I love to read and write and watch horror. So
Yes.
my new book is a horror thriller, slow burn, small town horror, culty vibes, that sort of fun thing. The spattering of gore, here and there. Just all the fun things.
Yes, and uh, Nina says, good morning.
Good morning.
It must be nice there in Hawaii. It's terrible here in Pennsylvania. We're all freezing our things off.
Oh, well, I haven't lived there in a while. That's just where I'm originally from. I actually
Yeah.
live in South Korea now.
Oh, wow. You've
Yeah, I'm
been
on the other
around,
side of the
honey.
world.
Woo! Well, it's still probably better than here in
It is cold.
Pennsylvania.
It is very cold though. Like,
Is
yeah,
it?
we're getting the cold weather. It snows here. Eventually last year it snowed like the day before Thanksgiving. I'm crossing my fingers it doesn't happen again because you know, it's a little early for snow for us anyway. So hopefully
Wow. Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah, keep it. Keep it.
it'll
Keep it.
hold it to December. That would be ideal.
Yeah, I want it to snow one day a year. We can have snow on Christmas, okay?
That's always good.
But only a little bit because I want my children to be able to get to my house.
Oh, that's true. You want it to be like pretty, like
Yes.
like movie style snow, where it's just like
Uh-huh.
lightly falling, but not like blizzard. We don't want
Yes.
that kind of movie.
Just enough to look nice. The Hallmark stuff.
Exactly. I don't need it just like dumped, just like a foot of snow or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Keep that
I'd
shit away from
prefer,
me.
yeah, prefer not.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, 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 no. And then, I get to hear last night, oh, look, we're supposed to have the coldest January on record. No,
Oh
no, don't be telling
no.
me that. Do not be telling me that. No, keep that to yourself. I don't, that's a need to know basis, and I don't need to know.
Oh no,
No.
please, no. Every record is like every year another record gets broken. Hey, this record or this year it's the coldest. This year it's the hottest. It just seems like every single time it's like it hasn't been this hot/cold in 100 years or something like that.
Yeah, I don't need to know about the cold. Let it surprise me. I'm
Surprises.
going to stay in the house anyway. Yeah, I saw this thing on Facebook the other day. It said, if somebody offered you $1,000 to stay in your house for a week, could you do it? Well, honey, I
Easy.
do that anyway.
I do it for free.
Yeah, give me the money.
It's the easiest money I'll ever make.
I know, right? I don't like leaving the house. There's people out there. People annoy me. I'm
Right?
staying right where I am. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
So, I forgot the title of this book, but it was fabulous. Can
Oh,
you tell us the title?
it's the Haven Horror.
That's it. The Haven Horror. Haven, with an F, correct?
Haven.
Haven? What's
Haven.
the Haven?
Yeah.
Where did I get the F from?
I don't know.
I'm losing
It
my
might have been,
mind.
you know what? You probably read another book that's like right next to it that probably had an F in it.
No, it did not. I
No?
can't see. I'm blind. Seriously, I'm legally blind now, so that was probably on me. But you know what? This book, it just immediately captured me because, well, number one, horror girl. See, I got my new spider up here.
Oh, I love it.
Well, it was supposed to be a crown for my head for Halloween.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was afraid I'd scare my grandbaby because, he's not
Oh,
quite a year
no.
old yet.
Oh,
And I had on a baseball cap for Memorial Day because we have our family baseball game. And he could not
nice.
figure out what the hell was on my head. It freaked him out. So, yeah, the spider idea was bad.
Yeah, you probably save that for when a little bit older, probably.
Yeah. So, uh, Nina wants to know what is. Let me finish this anyway. So yeah, the spider ended up on my wall. Nina wants to know what is your favorite beverage.
Oh, I do love tea, hot tea. Like hot tea during the day, hot tea at night, fruity teas especially. It's one of the few fruit sort of flavors that I enjoy. Otherwise, hot cocoa, alcohol, hot
I know.
toddy.
Nina says I'm a hot mess. Yes, I am. I have
Aren't we
the
all?
afternoon tea. I do afternoon tea after I get Matthew from school. I know I do
Afternoon tea is
coffee
great.
every morning, but I'm the afternoon tea girl.
Mm.
It's like I have to have a switch up in the afternoon.
I like a good breakfast tea in the morning. I don't really drink coffee, so I have to have like a good black tea for breakfast. And then during the day, some other kind of fruit tea. Except in the summer, I prefer iced tea, because it's too hot for hot tea. But right now, it's perfect for hot tea because it's nice and cold.
I,
Like
I
hot
am
tea.
I
Hot
am
tea.
totally a tea drinker, iced tea all the time.
Mm,
That's
yeah, sweet
yeah.
tea. Like in
Of
my
course.
book.
Yes, and oh my God, the sweet tea in the book is stay away from the sweet tea. Yeah. Uh, so
Addictive.
the book starts with a tree and a crazy old man. And okay, so I liked that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the hanging tree. And uh, hi, Susan. Good morning. Thank you
Morning.
for watching the show. And so the book starts with the crazy old man and the tree.
Yeah, a little prologue that takes place 100 years before the story starts. Yeah.
And really, the book centers around the tree in a
It
way.
means a lot of things to a lot of people. Yep.
Yes. And wow. I hate trying to talk about books and not giving things away. Arg! And there's a whole wide cast of characters in this book.
Yes, there is. It's a whole town. I had to do both a 90s version of that town and a 2020s version of that town. A lot of
And,
people, so they had to age and.
and yet not. And just, wow. But you managed to commingle the characters. And I'm always looking up when I'm thinking, "Mm,
That's where the thoughts are.
yes, you got to pull them down from the air because they don't stay in the head. I'm an airhead. And I pull everything back down. Uh, Um, and you do it well. Some people
Thank
cannot.
you.
Some people cannot hold on to too many characters,
I tried my best
but
to make them
you
all
did it.
individuals and give them each, their own agency, their own feelings and beliefs, especially since for the 90s I switched between, multiple characters. I don't stick with any one character, and only in the present day timeline do we stick with one character who carries us through the present day timeline. And it was a personal goal for me because I also hate multi-character stories where I'm like, I can't follow all these characters. There's too many. It was a personal goal for me to be able to write multiple characters. So I purposefully didn't go back to any one character in the 90s because I'm like, that's a crutch for me to be like, oh, someone familiar, someone I know I've written before. I'll just stay in their head. No, I was like, I'll give myself that for the present day timeline. But for the past timeline, I want to show how the story progresses through different people so you get different perspectives, and it forces me as a writer to do more than I've done before, so yeah, I hope that it comes across well, that I did well enough writing them that you feel like they're their own individual people and that they're interesting, and that the story isn't boring. That is the main goal that I try to do.
Well, the story demands the characters. Really,
Mm,
they're necessary. Which is why you pull it off so well.
Thank you. I
They are
tried.
needed, and it's just so fascinating to me, and I can't give it away. But I would say Patrick Gilligan is the main focus in the story.
I would say that yes, he's a major player in the story, both when he has his own time to talk and when other characters talk about him. He's very much a focus of a lot of people who are interested in him.
And he
Yeah.
starts out as just this naive teenager.
Yeah. Love struck.
Yeah, I mean, just your typical teenage kid, confused about life, religion, relationships,
Yeah.
and due to you know basically being raised in a cult.
We can say it. We can say the
We
C
can say
word.
the C word. We can say the C word. Uh, it makes it more confusing for him. So when he gets pulled in by a teenage girl who is, his fantasy, he gets pulled in hard.
First
And
loves. First loves hit you hard.
oh yeah, uh, ain't that the truth? Uh, he, it's like an awakening, totally mind, body, spirit, uh, and uh, and then kaboom! That's when things go wonk, and the story
Yeah.
opens up big time. And so his true love vanishes, and and that's when the story starts to roll real good, and more characters come to play, and you really are taken for a hell of a ride.
It
But
builds.
you're
It
also
it
left
gets there.
wondering, because you're left wondering, and you don't find out till the damn end of the book. I'm going to tell you this: you are left wondering till the end of the book, and then it's hallelujah, uh, glory to God, holy crap. I mean, she doesn't give anything away, folks.
I also another thing was pulling taffy, stretching the story out, trying to make it a slow burn, but also trying to keep you intrigued with what happens, what you want to happen, leaving you guessing, and then just sprinkling it in here and there, little tidbits of like, here's a little bit more about what's going on. Here's a little bit more about what's going on. But you don't really know what's going on until the end. And I can only hope that the payoff was worth the journey.
Because in the meantime, you have all these little side stories going. The girl Amanda, who is it Amanda, right?
Yeah.
My mind.
There are a lot of characters, and I gotta admit, half the time I forget them too.
This is the little girl who pulls him into love. Um, she has her two buddies.
Yeah, her best friends.
Yes, and then she has two brothers.
Yes.
And well, the brothers are searching for her. Her little friends are trying to figure out as well what the hell happened to our buddy. And cause the whole town is looking for this girl. Um, and then you have who is it, Jerry, who comes to this town
Yep, with
where
his
his
family.
parents live,
Hmm.
and he's like, okay, nice little town. This is great. He's got a daughter with some mental issues. She's what is the word I'm looking for? Disabled. And he's got a wife who is smart as a whip, and thinking, what in the hell is going on in this place? These people are a little weird. And then this cult is called the Lifers. This is what the rest of the town calls them, Lifers. And they all say, this Lifer church is a cult. and they think they're a bunch of weirdos, which they are. I mean, oh yeah, they are. And it's just the whole thing is just damn fascinating.
Thank
And
you.
so Jerry gets pulled into this church, and then you also have these two little girls who are best friends, and their little side story. And so you have all
Yeah.
these little side stories being put out, and yet all pulled together, like you said, like a taffy. Everything is pulled together until the end of this book, where you're just like thunk, and it's just fabulous. And
Thank you so much.
oh, you're very welcome. I mean, I like a book that can do that to me. I hate when things are just, and then
Predictable. I
yes,
was trying to be as far from predictable as possible because I get frustrated when I read a book and not even halfway through you're like, oh, is this how it ends? Is this where it's going? And then 9 times out of 10, yes, that is where it's going. And I didn't want it to be, even if you kind of like start to put together some pieces and think, is this where it's going? I still wanted it to be to where at the end you're surprised by just what happens, both in the past and the present. So
thank you. I get pissed off if somebody can figure out the ending of my book. I hate it when somebody knows who the bad guy is. I
oh
mean,
yeah.
the best thing for me is when somebody says, "Oh my God, I didn't figure that out." So,
I didn't figure your book out. I mean, I thought I knew what was going to happen, but you surprised me, so I was really happy about
oh, thank you.
that.
Thank you. To me, that's the best compliment in the world is when,
Yes.
you can surprise somebody. So thank
And it
you.
makes me happy too, because then I'm like, yay, this was exciting and fun to read. It was not predictable. I had no idea what was going to happen. I thought I knew what was going to happen, and you kind of did a little thing where I was like, oh, did I figure it out? And then nope. Switcheroo.
Thank
I
you.
liked that.
I did. Lila was just a little quick fun thing for me to do,
That was
and
so much fun.
oh, thank you. That's what I wanted it to be, just a quick fun read because Kane is a big heavy book, and the one I'm writing now is going to be another big heavy book for Kane. The two in the
Ooh.
middle were kind of little shorties, but this one is going to be another big one. So yeah, Lila was just a little something for fun, and I'm glad that
I
you
enjoyed it.
enjoyed it.
I couldn't put it down. I just every time I was like, no, one more chapter.
That's
Just one more chapter.
how it was with yours.
I
I
gotta go
think
back. Wait, one more chapter. No, I don't want to turn on the light. I just let me finish one more chapter. One more chapter.
that's how I was. That's how I read it straight through the night. I think I was up till 2 in the morning because when I started, it was like, no, no, not stopping, not stopping. And then I reread it again last night.
Oh.
The night before last, I just read it again straight through because I read it as soon as you sent it,
Oh.
and it was like,
Refresher, huh?
yep, I want to read it again before we do the show. So yeah, I read it twice.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It was just so good, and even reading it the second time, you pick up things you missed the first time with this book, which was
I
great.
hoped that it would be that way, that if someone chose to read it again, that they would be like, oh, so oh, now I see what was going on over
Yeah,
here. I tried to
exactly.
make it, you know, enjoyable for a second read, that hopefully you'll pick up the things that might have just like, gone away because you weren't thinking about it at that time. But once you find out how it ends and you start over again, you're like, oh, so that's what that meant.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I mean, it was just so good. And Nina says, "What inspired you to write this one? Where did
Ooh.
the spark come from?"
So this story, it started out as actually a short story that was originally part of my previous publication, the collection that I put out. It originally had 15 stories instead of 13, but I took two out because my editor suggested that I could expand like those stories, and that if I expanded them in the collection, it would just make the collection like way too big. Those stories would be like, dominating the entire book. So I took them out, and this one in particular, I can't say what the original name was because that gives kind of gives away the whole story. But um, I wrote like this little random, like sort of rambling story about this town. It didn't even have a time period where it was set. It was just like it's in the past at some point, like 80s, 90s or something like that. I didn't have like a set period. And it was just about this town and how some weird stuff starts happening. And so that was kind of the original story because I was just thinking like small town horror, culty thing. Like what would be really interesting about how something like that starts. And then so when it was originally part of the collection, I also had sort of like a quick summary of a sequel to that short story that I wanted to write, which would have taken place in the present day of like, okay, so this happened in the past. What does that look like in the present day? If, say, someone from the outside, think like Children of the Corn, people just randomly come across this town. What is this town like in the present day? What do they do? So I had an idea for a second short story. And instead, once I took that out of the short story collection and like tried to start working on it, I was able to put them both together into a dual narrative so that it was like past and present at the same time. So I'm glad that worked out that way because I was able to focus more on like the characters who originally just kind of like names in a short story, like, oh, this person, this is what happens to that person. It wasn't as like in depth with who these people were. And it was more just like these are a bunch of names in the town of like, and stuff happens to them. So it was still really good to have that basis so I could be like, okay, so I at least have a cast of characters. I have a setting. I know what I want to happen in this story, but it was just getting into the in-depth and fleshing everything out. And yeah, it was crazy. I've never done anything like this before, having like different maps of this place. I had to actually build a town, physically, so I knew where everybody was, and if you went from this part of town to this part of town, how long would it take? And like character sheets, like I've never done this much information of like diving into this many characters before. um yeah, it was crazy. I'm not normally that kind of person. I'm very much a fly by the seat of my pants kind of writer. So but I wanted to feel real.
That's the one thing with my cane books. I lived in the town. I grew up in the town. I know every inch
Oh,
of the
there
town,
you go.
every pebble on the ground. So yeah, it's all right there in my head already. But that must have been fun in a way, though, to
It
make a
was
whole
fun.
town from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to at least draw from real, like I did grow up in a small town, so I was able to draw on that sort of feeling, but creating my own town in a different state during a specific period of time was yeah. I mean, I even looked up weather patterns during specific parts of the book for specific years that it was happening. So I'd be like, okay, was there a storm during like this day? No, okay, it was sunny. Great. I can write it as a sunny day because it took place on a very specific day in the 90s, and you can go back and actually look that stuff up. So, or, in the present day when it's 2023, that was only a couple years ago. So if I'm like, hey, it was snowing, and they're like, no, it wasn't snowing, then that already breaks you from reality. So even things like that, like looking up what kind of a weathery day it was, so that at least, okay, so it's set in North Texas. What was the weather like January 17th, 2023?
Oh, that's
Just so
so
that I
cool.
know.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it wasn't actually like I didn't even think of that, but thankfully I got that note from another friend of mine who also is a writer, and she's way more in depth than I am in her stuff. Like she knows her character's zodiac signs, she knows what their favorite foods are, she knows their birthdays and like what sort of movies they like to watch, what are their like least favorite colors, that sort, like she is way more in depth than I am. But she was like, "Oh yeah, when I'm writing, since it's set in like a real place in a real time, I check the weather." And I was like, "You check the weather?" It's like, well, I guess I could try that. That sounds like it adds some realism.
Wow.
So I don't know if I'll ever go as deep as her. Like if you ask me what Patrick Gilligan's favorite color is, he never told me, so I don't know. But at least I was able to, add some realism to the story as far as what the weather was like.
I never even thought about going that in depth.
I know, right? Me neither. Until this book. So I've learned a lot doing this as far as research goes. And it was frustrating, but also a lot of fun, to just realize the sorts of things you can look up,
Lacquer. I feel like I'm not doing my homework good enough. I should get an F.
Well, sometimes you don't need that much work. I mean, I did a lot of other extra work that doesn't even make it into the book. Like I had like 10 different stores for this place that only like two or three of them actually made it in as far as, the names of places. Things like that. And other like character stuff that they told me about. Because again, when I was writing most of these chapters, it was still sort of like figuring out who these people are. I don't know them until they tell me parts about them. Like Sheriff McCutcheon, I didn't know he had kids until he's like, my kids would never dress like bums. I was like, oh, you've got sons? Oh crap. Okay, wait, now I gotta what are their names? Like how old are they? Where are they? Like
I know,
it's
right?
yeah, random things that come up where when the characters finally tell you stuff, you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And now I got to do some research.
I know I had a cop out walking his dogs once. I'm like, you got dogs? Where did these dogs come from? Okay, they're your wife's dogs. She's making you walk the dogs.
Or your
Okay.
chickens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the chickens. Yeah, I put the chickens in the book, even put up a picture of them.
Yes, I love the pictures that you included. That was so cool.
Oh, thank you. I did it on a whim. I was like, I'm not going to put in pictures of all the people. I'm going to put in the farm animals.
Yeah, your cow and the horse. Oh, that was so cool. I love things like that.
Thank you. Like, we just put in the farm animals. What the hell? It was just something fun to do. Like I said, it was for fun, that one.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, and like your intro where you had the little bit of information about hexes and the pictures you have of like your horseshoe above the door and the hex signs. I thought that was fascinating. That is so cool because well, I mean, I've seen the horseshoe thing, but I've never seen the hex sign before, and I didn't know the specifics of like what a hex is versus like what everybody just seems to call it, which is usually spells, right? So I thought that was really cool. It was really informative
oh, thank you. Like I said,
and useful for the story.
it's like a dying art around here, and it was just kind of my way of keeping it alive a little bit. Something that nobody hears about anymore. So
Yeah,
it was fun for me to keep that alive a little, and to let people
I
know what it
loved
is.
it.
Thank you. It's my small way of, like I said, you grow up around it, and you hear it so often that it just kind of, you glance over it. You don't even think about it. You're just so
Yeah.
used to it. And it just struck me, why doesn't anybody really think about this anymore? And then I thought, well, damn, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to put it in a book.
Yes.
And so it was
Dying art
fun.
forms, they need to be talked about and, passed around.
They do. They do. And, nowadays people write a lot of true books about it. They'll
Mm,
write about the hex signs, or they'll write about, the culture, but, they didn't really tell any stories about it. And so I decided to tell a story about it.
I'm so glad you did.
It was, like I said, it was fun for me. I really enjoyed it. And so Nina wants to know, imagine a future where you no longer write. What would you do? Oh,
Oh,
well, that's a strange
do I still get to read?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
I'd
ahead. You can read
probably,
as much as you want.
well, yeah, I mean, I'd be doing probably just a lot of reading, and if I couldn't write, I'd probably draw. I'm not like super good at drawing, but I mean, because I have my little paintings over here I did for my two covers, but I do find it as a fun expression. So I'd probably do like painting, drawing, crafting. I love to just come up with weird little crafts to do. So I have other outlets, but writing is definitely my passion. It's number one. So it would be sad to lose it, but I'd still find other ways to have fun creatively.
Is there anything specific you would want to tell your readers?
About like about the book?
Not anything.
Um, well, I would say probably as far as my books go, I would caution that they do get a bit gory, a bit touchy on some subjects that some people don't necessarily want to read about, religion, uh sometimes things get a little messy. So I would say like I appreciate everyone who buys my book, and if they say that they will buy it to support me but will never read it, that's okay. I appreciate that you are supporting me. I'm not offended at all if you don't enjoy horror and don't necessarily want to read it. I would say with this book though, if you wanted to read just a few chapters just to get an idea of the characters, the gory stuff doesn't really happen until the end, so you could probably get most of the way through, and then maybe by then you could ease your way into just like, reading a little bit and seeing how you can handle it.
I have to say, the end, I love the way you did the end with Molly. Um, it was perfect. It was a perfect ending with Molly. And you just pulled that off. That was superior. It really was. And
Thank you
now
so
everybody
much.
has got to buy this book and see how she did it. It was so good. I was like, it's because I hate crappy endings. But
Yeah,
you
me
did it
too.
so well. It was perfect. And
Oh, thank you.
yes, it was a superior ending. And it's just what I wanted for the ending. It's like, how in the hell is she going to end this book? And, and you did it. You did it so well. I loved it.
I appreciate when a book has like a really good payoff, because if it's a slow burn like I was trying to do, and at the end it's kind of like a fizzle. It's kind of like, oh, a little thing happened and then that's the end. It's like, oh, but I just went through all of this and you're not really giving me any sort of like, conclusion. I need something big to happen. So I wanted something big to happen. But I also wanted to give you, a sense of closure as well.
You did. You really did. And you did it in such a good way. Like, ta-da! And it was good. It was good. I love that. So I wanted to make sure I brought that up because yes, you closed the book very well.
Thank you.
You're
It
very
was
welcome.
I actually had to brainstorm with some friends about like how to end the book, because I had a specific ending in mind. I just didn't know how I was gonna get there. Like I knew like, this has to happen and this has to happen and this has to happen. But how do those things happen was the way of like, trying to figure that out. And thankfully I had some people kind of like, well, what about this? What about this? And those sort of like helped me lead to, oh, okay, yes, no, that's something I can work with. So it was very much a group effort, and I appreciate everyone who gave me input, who helped me like really pull this story together. Because I don't know. I can't write in a vacuum. I feel like I have good ideas and sometimes I can articulate those ideas, but really it's my critique partners, my editor, they all push me to like find the best way to get the idea out. And like if I showed you the first draft of this book, like it would be way different than what is actually coming out. And even the difference between like the arc and the final version, because I got a lot of pushback on that Texas accent, which was a bit much. So I had a few people like, hey, can you like tone it down a little bit? It's kind of hard to read. And this is after I toned it down from what I originally had. So I was like, oh, is it still that bad? And some people were like, yeah, it's not 100% pleasant. I was like, okay, I can accept that. So I pulled it back a little bit. I tried to make it just a smidge more readable, but I kept my y'alls. I kept my ands. So so
Well,
I compromised on that part.
I know I am always yelling at my computer when I try and write things like in a Pennsylvania Dutch accent,
Mm,
and it will fix it for me. And I'm like,
yeah.
no, this is what I want. Stop fixing me.
Yeah. Oh, mine hated all those contractions.
It's like, I don't need fixed. I don't need you to
Yeah.
tell me.
It's like
Leave me
I see all nothing
alone.
but red on these pages, especially the heavy dialogue ones.
I know, right? It's like, no, stop. Stop. of me.
Accept. Stop pointing this out. It's okay. Accept. I get it. You're trying to give me proper English. That is not what I'm going for.
Exactly. I don't even speak proper English. I
People
don't need
don't
you to
speak
tell me
like
how to write
that.
it. And I have people say, Beth, you write like you speak. No shit. I am Pennsylvania Dutch. This is how I speak. Let me alone. I don't need you to tell me. That's why
Oh
I
yeah.
write about people around here. They talk like me. This is how it works. Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, it's the
I'll
trials you go through.
tell you what, it's crazy. Ah, so, yes. Ah. Okay. And we left. Okay.
So
So
much
what are you
fun.
working on now, honey?
Okay, let's see. So right now I'm working on another short story to submit to an anthology. Um, it's going to be well, let's see, published by the same publisher who did the Trash Tales anthology that I had another short story in. He's putting out a different anthology called Fun in the Dark. So I'm submitting a story to that, and we'll see if it gets picked next year. He's going to be doing like more anthologies and stuff, which if anyone's interested in like trying to submit some short stories, you can look up Kilter and Ramel. It's on Instagram or Facebook. You can, and just the Kilter and Ramel publishing.com. If you want to check it out, I highly recommend it. It's going to be so much fun. And the more people who submit, the more fun stories we'll get to like, compete with. So there's that. And then next year, I'm just going to be like taking a break from the publishing side. It's been so stressful these past couple years, man, and financially, quite a burden too. So I'm going to keep writing, but I'm not going to be like putting anything out next year. Um, but yeah, I'm still going to be trying to write stories.
Good. Good. The world needs your stories because they're fabulous.
Short stories, and then I'm going to see if I can put get another novel out there too.
That would be fabulous. And you'll have to come back to me when you do.
Yes, I would love
Love
to.
you. So, um, you make me laugh. You make me happy.
You
I
make
love
me
your book.
laugh. Oh my gosh. And I love your book.
I'll tell you what,
I'll-
I may hit you up to read my first chapters of Cain and get your opinion.
I have to go through your back catalog first so I can get the lore straight and I
Okay.
can know the ins and out.
Don't know the blend of me.
Awesome. Ooh, I
Okay,
get the
so
inside scoop.
well, they got me even crazier than you already do. I love it when someone appreciates your crazy. Oh my! Well, I'm gonna have to say goodbye. I have grandbabies showing up any second,
Okay.
and
I
those
should
are
probably get
coming
to
running
bed.
up
It's past
screaming.
midnight.
So thank you for being on the show, honey. You're one of
Thank you
my
so much
favorite
for
guests.
having me. I always
Um,
love chatting with you.
and you have a fabulous Thanksgiving if you do that.
Yes, you too. No snow.
And Bob, a
No
big hug.
snow.
Jim and Bob has a yeah. We decorated him with a little bat
Oh
there
my
for.
gosh, I love it. Oh, so festive. Awesome.
Say hi, Jim and Bob.
Hi. Yay, I got a Demon Bomb cameo.
Yay! Oh, I love you too, Nina. Oh, thank you again for being on the show, honey.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
if you want to hang on just a second after we say goodbye, thank
Sure.
you everybody for watching, and we will see you
Bye.
next weekend. Love ya.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, honey. Okay, I'm hitting the buttons.